Congratulations on the win. I tell you what, let's start things off. Talk about the game a little bit, what you thought were the keys to the game and how it sort of ebbed and flowed.
It's kind of been the same formula we've had in our regional wins. We started off, we played really solid defense.
Yeah.
I feel like our defensive effort for the first 3 games to get here and then the defensive effort today, that's the catalyst for our team. When we can play great defense like that, we can rebound the ball, when we can win that possession battle, we don't have to always shoot the lights out. And today we shot, solid, but not spectacular. All right, we shot well enough to win the game, but we were able to get off to a hot start, play with the lead for the entire game. You usually play a little bit more free when you're playing with the lead.
Right.
So we were pleased that we were able to kind of have that little bit of cushion because we needed it when the injury happened, when they went on their run. We were able to withstand a lot of those things
Right.
because we got mentally tough players. If you didn't notice, I don't like to call a lot of timeouts because I trust them. I trust them that they're going to be able to handle it. They're going to get us into what we want. So the ebbs and the flows of the game really started with us on the defensive end doing a really good job, making a few adjustments down the stretch. When they were starting to get a little bit hot and trying to score by 3 instead of by 2, we changed some things up just a touch. And these girls were just tough as nails to finish.
Yeah. Any questions for the players first? Go ahead.
This is for either one of you. Can you guys talk about kind of how things may have shifted once Mallory kind of went down there and things were maybe kind of getting away from Tampa there, but obviously they ended up making a run there at the end. Can you talk about how things maybe kind of shifted once she went down?
Yeah, Mallory, our starting point guard, usually plays all 40 minutes, so it was definitely a big change for us, but we're no stranger to adversity. We've been battling, lots of injuries for the past 2 years, and that just created us to be like a really mentally tough team. So, it obviously took us a second to get used to not having her out on the floor, but when numbers get called, I'm super proud of our girls for stepping into those roles.
This one's for Chloe. Chloe, big game tonight, 27 points there. What were you seeing and what were you feeling out there on the floor today?
Definitely different than what I'm used to, with them playing zone most of the time. But then that's just me having to trust my shot more. I'm more used to going one-on-one, in the paint by the block, but I had the opportunity to step out more towards the elbows and the three-point shot, and it's something that I've been practicing for the last couple years. And, I just had to stay confident in that. And then once I felt it, I just had to keep rolling with it. And I was fortunate enough to hit some of those ones. And, I just keep on trusting it.
This one's for Caden. You led all players today with 13 rebounds. You held them to 3 offensive rebounds the entire game. That is incredible. Just how big is that for you guys on that side of the ball?
Yeah, rebounding is huge for us. We talked about it before the game, and we normally do every game. If we can win the boards, we think we have a really good chance to win the game. So we do a lot of drills in practice, focusing on boxing out and correct form and stuff. And then at the end, rebounding really is just about grit and who wants to go get it more, and I think we do a really good job of that.
Caden, late in the basketball game, about 4:20 left. They cut it to a 4-point game. You come back and hit a big 3 and extend it back out to 7 to just kind of slow that momentum. Chloe had a couple big shots early in the fourth quarter to this same. Just can you tell me about what is it about this team that allows everyone to have that confidence that doesn't matter who has the ball, you believe that whoever can knock down that big shot and keep this team pushing forward?
Yeah, we have confidence in every single one of us, and I think it comes from just the work that we've put in the off season throughout the season. Everybody's always in getting in shots, and we're always like pulling people along with us. We're never in there by ourselves. We're always like, let's go do this together, like let's get in the gym, and we all just know that we're going to hit it.
Got time for one more question for the players. You
Chloe,
guys good? Go ahead.
first one out of the way. How hard is that just to get number 1, get that first win, and kind of start the week on the right note?
Yeah, definitely we had momentum rolling in from winning our regional, but we're in a new environment here, new gym and everything. So to be able to get this win and kind of roll into the Final Four with that momentum is huge. A lot of us saw a lot of our shots go in, and so, that plays a big part in us rolling into the next game as well. So, it feels good, but we know that we are not satisfied yet and that we need to earn 40 more. So that's what we're going to focus on.
Okay. Any questions for Coach Wessendorp?
You can dismiss.
Yeah.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job, you guys. See you Wednesday. Okay, questions for Coach Kurt?
Coach, I'll ask you the rebound question as well. That's incredible, holding them to just 3 offensive rebounds the entire game. Just talk about that performance on that side of the ball, rebounding today.
Well, we're a pretty tenacious rebounding team. Like, when we talked about the possession battle earlier, like, as they were answering questions, I was able to look, and, you win the boards by 8 and the turnovers by 2, so we had 10 more opportunities than they had today. Because they shot a better percentage than we did, but we had 10 more chances. So, and our girls are pretty smart basketball IQ players, and as I try to stress those things to them, they understand the value of it, and then they know where that effort has to be. So they really have one player that offensive rebounds really, really well, 44. I just don't want to mispronounce names, so I'm just going to stick to numbers because I don't know them as well. So 44, we were going to try to double team block her out if we were on the front and the back of her when the shot went up. We weren't going to leave and try to go find another player to box out because they usually don't crash the offensive glass as hard as some other teams that we've seen. They tended to get back on defense a little bit more and try to take away our transition game. So we had the numbers, all right, as far as bodies in there to have that advantage to only give up 3, so that plays into that a little bit as well. But we're just pretty tenacious kids, and they know they have to go attack the basketball.
Coach, do you have any update on Mallory's injury after the game, and how are you kind of preparing as if, possibly maybe she can't go on Wednesday? Are you looking at it that way, or do you have any update?
I do not have an update, and that's something that I will try to be figuring out when we walk out of this room. We've had to play without Mallory a little bit. We had one game where she missed with a concussion in the middle of the season, so we did that. That game didn't go very well for us, though, but we did experience it one time. And like Chloe kind of alluded to, last year, Kaden and Maya Hiram missed the entire year with an ACL injury, and we kind of had to plug pieces in, here and there. A couple years ago, Chloe missed an entire season with a knee injury. We've had players that have gone down in the past, so like they're talking about, okay, it's something we've had to do before. Like, it's not something that's ideal if that ends up being the case, but they've been in that spot before, and they're mentally tough enough to know that, okay, we can move some pieces around, but we probably won't know on Mal, probably all the way up until game time. That kid is one of the toughest kids you will ever see, so if there is any way that she can be in that game playing, she'll be in that game playing, and if she's not in that game playing, she's going to be impacting, our chances to win, because she's such a competitor, she's such a leader, whether she's on the court or not, she's going to impact the game on Wednesday night.
Okay, one more question over here, I believe.
Congratulations on the win. I was really impressed with your team and just your overall just togetherness, cohesiveness. Moving forward, what are some of the keys moving into the next game you think you guys need to improve on?
Might be a little bit opponent dependent, once we see who's out there, but we feel like we're a really versatile team. So we feel like we can match up pretty well with a lot of different styles. So we've already seen Damon, so we kind of know their style a little bit. I'm not as familiar with Texas women's. We're really focused on the next game. So honestly, I've not watched them yet. My assistants have, so I'll get a good look right now. But this is, like you said, this is a group that's really together. They love to play basketball together. They can find different ways to win games. We're not a one-trick pony. We feel like we can win a lot of different types of basketball games, and we're going to have to do that because I think the opponents, they might be a little bit different. I know that Texas women's has a real strong inside game, but we got to figure out exactly how we can set our defenses and try to scheme up something to get our kids in those right spots. But it's a group that really believes in each other. They believed that they were going to be the better team on the court today. They're going to believe they're going to be the better team, just like every team that's made it this far has that belief. You try not to be cocky about it, but you have to have that belief. And I showed them, we stood on midcourt, and I was like, pointed at the state of Missouri, and I was like, anyone know what the state of Missouri's nickname is? Unfortunately, no one knew. So I was like, no one knew. I don't think we teach geography all that well then. But I was like, it's a show-me state, all right? The show-me state. And all through the regional, we said, hey, we're the best team on the court, but we have to go prove it. So the show-me state, you got to go prove that you're the best game every time, because it's not going to be one on paper, because we'll probably be maybe at a little bit of a disadvantage if Mallory is not able to go and if we're kind of a little bit undersized, but that's okay with us. So we'll just go out there and compete, and I just love coaching the team, so I'm looking forward to 40 more minutes with them.
Okay, I think that's going to do it. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations, and we'll see you Wednesday, okay?
Thank you.